So, long time no see, Brit.
Oh my god, I can't believe I got to spend basically a week with you.
Yeah.
In the flesh. IRL, as the kids say.
Those kids. Yeah, not Kate, though. She can't say things yet.
No, she just smiled and cried.
But she goes, ooh.
I read her one of those, you gave me all those little kids movie books and one of those Jurassic Park, and I read Jurassic Park to her. And the whole time I was like, this is what you sound like. You sound like a velociraptor. You sound like T-Rex. You sound like this. When you want to murder me.
She does kind of the high pitch, like, she's like, oh, she's so cutesy, though.
Yeah.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Cowabunga, dude.
Excellent.
Tubular.
Bossa Nova, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they all, like, shit on him for saying that. And I was like, whoa, rude.
Why do they all have California accents in New York?
I attribute it to the radioactive waste that they went through. I feel like everything is attributed to that. Wow. All right. So let me introduce ourselves because we are not California Turtle.
We are not Teenage Mutant or Ninja Turtles.
No. But we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Teenage Mutant Ninja Heroes in a Half Shell.
Turtle Power.
Turtle Power. There's some jams in there.
Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, what a weird name. Like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, they were just really descriptive.
And, like, are they teenagers, really? In turtle years?
We gotta talk about that, Kate.
We gotta talk about the turtles' ages, okay?
First of all, so many movies have come out like this. This originated with the comic book to cartoon to what I think our generation had, like, a lot of figurines, lots of turtle figurines, to then this movie, to then sequels of this, to then the Michael Bay latest one with Megan Fox that everyone done.
We don't talk about those.
So, wowie. Is it your turn to summarize?
Is it? Wait, what was it?
1990 classic.
What was our last movie? We did Muppet Movie? That wasn't me?
I think I tried to summarize it. It was horrible, so.
Oh, dear.
You're up, kid. Cowabunga.
All right. Let's order a pizza. Just kidding. Oh, my God. I'd love a pizza.
Do you know I was eating pizza while watching this?
Oh, you
Because
were?
remember how
That's
much
so
extra
smart.
pizza we had?
Oh, my
so,
God.
As I was eating it, I was like, this is the way to watch this movie. Like, you know?
And that pizza was better than Domino's pizza, which is the pizza they kept ordering. And I was like, guys, you're in New York. Are you okay?
Oh.
You guys confused?
Okay, there is an honest trailer for the latest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they go on and on about, like, wait, you ordered Domino's pizza? But, like, New York is the best pizza in the world from, like, any other place.
Literally.
Why are you ordering from there?
Don't understand it. All right, let me see if I can summarize. Do you see what's happening here, by the way? Teenage Mutant Ninja Stray hair sticking out of the side of my head.
Well, no one can see what you look like, Kate.
I know,
so
but I can
know,
see it.
You're an actual turtle.
Jesus
Let's do
Christ. Okay. All right. So this is, and I don't think we said this, but this is the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 1990.
Who requested it?
David! Teenage Mutant Ninja David, he requested the movie.
Who's your favorite? Put it in the review. Write out a review and say, my favorite is which Renaissance painter?
Oh, I was like, who's the favorite? But you're talking about which turtle
obviously
is the favorite?
It's me, and then out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who is it?
Yes,
and
of
don't
course.
say April. Get out of here.
No.
Let's do it.
I didn't, like, totally hate her, but she wasn't super great. either. Okay. So we're in New York City.
Yeah.
In the 90s. So this is like present day,
Sure.
we assume. And it starts off with a news broadcast by April O'Neil, who is one of the main characters. She's a reporter. And she's basically like, hey guys, New York City is full of crime. And so much crime, no one knows anything about the crime, except all the shit's getting stolen. And while she's doing this broadcast, we see literal teenagers and maybe even middle schoolers just stealing a bunch of shit. And I'm very confused how the world's largest city has no witnesses to the rampant crimes that happen in broad daylight. I just want to say that.
Batman? I don't know.
But I guess that's happening. So they're like, wow, crazy. And then April O'Neil, because the movie is like, you're a lady, so we're gonna make you the damsel in distress a lot of the time. She basically like walks in on some youths, okay? They're like 15 or some shit, I don't know where their parents are, stealing from her van, and then she's like, oh no, and then they're like attacking her, but then she gets saved, but she doesn't know how she gets saved. And then we end up finding out, oh my god, it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. TMNT for short, which I believe was one of the movie names later on. And we find out, wow, they're literal giant turtles and they dress like ninjas, which is an interesting life choice they made. And they live in the sewer. They like pizza. They are ninjas.
They're teenagers, right? Like early, like 13, right?
You think they're 13? I thought they were like 19.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I was like, guys, get a job.
Wow.
Who's paying for this
That's
pizza?
a big difference. Well, why don't we keep talking and see where we think they land?
Okay, so then they're also raised by a sentient rat who's also life-size named Splinter, who is an old man rat who taught them karate. They don't call it karate, they call it like
Ninja warrior.
Ninja Rati or something stupid. And you're like, wow, this is so fucking weird. Anyway, moving on. And then somehow, what happens? Like, okay, so the turtles are Leonardo, who's the blue, Raphael, who's the red, Donatello, who's the purple, and Michelangelo, who's the orange.
There will be a quiz.
There will, yeah. I think I got it wrong the last time.
I always get it wrong.
And they have distinct weapons, too, which maybe later on I'll remember. But Raphael is like, I'm the angsty one, and like, everything makes me perturbed, and I'm a turd.
Turtle.
And yeah, so he like leaves, and then he runs into this guy, Casey Jones, who for some reason the movie's like, you're also a character. And he's literally just, I think, a hobo.
That's from the comic book, though. So they didn't force that.
No,
that
I know, but like...
Oh. I know,
so
it's weird. It's
a lot in one.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's just a guy who wears a hockey mask and beats people up. And again, why wasn't he arrested yet? We don't know. But okay, fine. So then somehow they get back to April where she's like getting beat up by the ninja people. And then Raphael again is like, I'm gonna go save her. And he saves her. And then he kind of like kidnaps her and takes her back to their little, sewer lair. So that's smelly. And then she's like, what the fuck is going on when she wakes up? And then Splinter, the rat, is like, don't panic. Let me give you our backstory. And she's like, well, I didn't ask for this. And then he's like, anyway. And then he goes into the backstory. The backstory was he was a rat raised by a ninja guy. So as a rat, he started doing ninja moves.
So it's called ninjutsu.
Okay. I said that. No, I didn't. I said ninjarati.
Well,
those are different.
It sounds like a made-up word, so I want to just clarify.
I think it is. Okay. All right, so he's doing ninjutsu or ninja jitsu or whatever. And somehow his like owner got killed, but then he like got away, and then he was in the sewer, and then magically there were 4 little baby turtles also in the sewer, but they were crawling around in radioactive waste. So then everybody got mutated, and now they're big and can talk. And then he's like, the only logical thing to do is to also teach them karate. Or ninjutsu, whatever. So he does that, and then he's like, that's the story. And April's still fucking confused about it, but cool. So then April's like, well, I gotta go home. And Charles like, great, we're gonna go with you. I don't know why, but they do. And then they're all hanging out at her apartment. While they're doing that, Splinter gets kidnapped by the ninjas. And then the turtles are like, oh my god, Splinter's gone. Maybe he's dead. We don't know. And you're like, what? And then what the fuck is happening? And basically, it's a lot of back and forth between youth ninjas and then the turtles Turtles, and then they like kind of come together randomly, but then they separate, and somehow all within here it leads to April losing everything she knows and loves, catches on fire. April really gets the shit out of the stick in this movie. And then they go to a random cabin, and then they're like, we still don't know where Splinter is. And then Leonardo's like, I actually have psychic powers, and he's alive, and I know where he is. And they're like, oh my god, cool. But then they don't go right away to save him, so that's okay. And then they wait like a day, and then they're like, now we're gonna go get him. And you're like, what? And then they do that, and Casey Jones is there too, I guess. And I don't know. And then there's a bunch of delinquent teenagers doing shit and learning ninja shit, and they're smoking underground, and I don't know. And then in the end, they get in a big fight with the main bad guy, who I don't even think I said yet, but here he is. His name's Shredder, and we find out that he was actually the guy who killed Splinter's owner, and then we actually found out that Ninja Rat Splinter did ninja rat scratches on his ninja face, and then now they're like, it's you, and then they're on a roof, and then Shredder kind of goes out like a bitch, and he just like falls off the roof, and then Casey Jones fucking kills him in a trash compactor like Saw. And that's the end of the children's movie.
Lots of feedback that this movie was super dark.
Yeah.
And they had to kind of pull it back with like, hiya! And huh! And, oh, you thought that guy's dead? We'll add breathing noises to the end. And we'll say, cowabunga, dude! And try to like fix it. Because it was like a murderous, sad, dark
and
movie.
Like two of the turtles, their weapons were like legit like knives and swords, and I was like, wait, doesn't that like kill? Like that's not like a stick where I like bonk someone on the head. Like that's danger. I don't know,
but we're gonna get into it. Okay.
All right.
And the first thing we gotta start off that I think is so interesting is no one wanted to do this movie.
Oh. Wow.
It was right after Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out, so the live action was like, okay, we're tracking. That was like a good, successful hit. They just shopped it around and no one did it. So this was an independent film.
Oh, that's so interesting.
The Blair Witch eventually took it over, but it was the highest grossing independent film of all time.
What?
Something like, where I don't have my numbers, but production budget around 13 million, and I think they went on to make over 135 million.
Whoa.
And we talked about last episode, Jim Henson made the turtle costumes, and Elmo, the guy that does Elmo, voiced Splinter.
What? That's so awesome.
He's like, hi, I'm Elmo. And
Splinter. Smoking Apex today.
But yeah, so I find it like so interesting that the cartoon came out in the 80s, did well, and then they're like, let's do a movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And everyone's like, I ain't touching that. And then it just like did amazing.
Yeah.
So we gotta get into it, Kate.
Well, like I said, it starts off with the news broadcast, and then you see all this crime. This first crime we see is a pickpocket, which you're like, all right, like that sucks, but like whatever, that's easy to get away with. But no. There's like 80 children involved with this pickpocketing scheme. It was like the annexation of Puerto Rico from Little Giants, where it's like, pass it.
Okay,
like,
I read, and I thought this was so brilliant. Do you remember in Pinocchio, there's like a world.
Fantasy Island?
Yes, where like all the teenage boys go crazy, and that's what turns them into the donkeys. Yeah. Like that was the vibe. It was like, you could do anything down here. You can gamble. You could do this. And as a result, you're going to just steal people's stuff for the city and we'll, sell it on eBay?
I don't even know. Where are we selling it? No one knows. What is the business model? I don't know.
But, and like, how about the one lady that was just like sitting on her stoop watching TV and she like turned around, the TV's gone. It's like, wait, what? So to me, it had like a little humor to it.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, they can't be taking this that serious. We then, I think, like the other part of this movie is I felt like a lot of video game music. Like,
yeah.
Whoa,
and like 90s,
mama.
like beep, 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 beep.
And that was huge. I remember playing the game, like the Nintendo game. Well, not playing. Actually, Jimmy would play, and I'd get to watch. Like, if I was lucky enough.
Say.
But I kept hearing the video game, like while watching this movie. I was like, oh my lord.
Yeah.
Then we meet April, Kate, and what happens?
Well, first, which I hate this, she's like walking girl, you in New York. She sees a rat, which like that's like the equivalent of like seeing a pigeon. Like I don't know why this is surprising.
They're everywhere.
All over. And she's like, ah! And you're like, okay. And then she immediately catches some of these youths these out of control youths are stealing some shit. And she's like, oh no, I'll just walk away. And then they're like, get her. And then this scene, like, because this is where the turtles like save her, but you don't see any of that because they like break a light that's, I guess, like shining over this scene. But the thing that they use to break the light is one of the little like knife.
I think they're called size.
Okay, so one of the little size. But whoever fucking threw that, like, it must have only been one take because it was, like, the slowest, like, so slow. And I don't even think it hit the light. It hit, like, under it.
Katie
but then
is doing a demonstration by holding up one of her pens and slowly moving it in, like,
it's
slow
just, like...
circles. Do you think the first time they did it, it didn't even break the light? And they're like, damn it, retake.
But, like, they might as well have done, like, a little fart noise when it hit because that's what it looked like. And I understand. But I guess that did it, and then hooray.
Well, and then that was one of the size was left, and then April O'Neil steals it in her bag.
Right.
And so Raphael, who is the angsty one, who is, to me, the only character that actually developed, like, the whole time. The rest of them are, like, side characters. And he's like, God damn it, I'm already angry, and now my freaking weapon's gone.
Wait, but he literally does say damn. Like, he says it, like, a bunch of times. I was like, whoa, what's this rated? My.
It's a kid's movie. It's a kid's movie. But, and then I was really confused by their accents. I didn't understand why they all had California accents. And first of all, which voice did you notice while listening?
Raphael was like, yo, yo, yo. And I was like, what?
But did you notice a famous person as one of the characters? Corey Feldman was Donatello.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, Donatello was the purple. He was like the nerd one.
Kate, there's a quiz later. We gotta prepare.
That's fucking amazing. How long after Goonies was this? Oh no.
Probably not too long because it was 1990. So, but yeah, Josh Pius, I think, because he was the only one that actually did like the martial arts, the voice, and was in that suit. And they all had to like put on that suit that was like 60 pounds.
Yeah.
And I read that most of the filming was in North Carolina in the heat.
Oh.
And so they were all like sweating their like, balls off.
Wait, so the one who actually did the voice and the karate and whatever else you said, that was Raphael?
I believe so.
Okay, because that was the only turtle I felt like actually did, like, he had a lot of his solo scenes, and there was, like, one scene where he's, like, doing calisthenics on the rooftop for no reason, and he does, like, cartwheels in the suit, and I was like, damn, I can't even do a cartwheel. Like,
oh my god.
Not in a turtle suit, what the fuck?
Well, and first of all, I gotta say, I loved the suit.
Yeah, they were cool.
The pushback now is the, like, of course, the CGI version and the most recent one. They look, like, scary and, like,
no, I don't think the new one was praised for its CGI.
Yeah,
it was scary.
So, that's a hard thing to do, to, like, make it look like, first of all, you're making a turtle look like a ninja, and I get there's, like, a comic book. But, like, I don't know, even the way they talk, they had the animatronic, like, lips.
I was gonna say their lips would be like...
Oh, I thought that was so cool.
I'm like, wow.
Do turtle have teeth, Kate? Let's discuss.
No.
Okay, but they're mutants, so anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. So we also then meet Splinter, and we're like, wow. I remember as a kid thinking Splinter was a little scary.
Bridge, you were, like, afraid of weird things, though. Remember Bob
you know
from
what
the Batman movie?
Splinter looks like, right now, part of postpartum, is I'm, like, losing all my hair. And anytime I brush my hair, like, that's what Splinter looks like. Like, my hairbrush just with a bunch of hair in it. I was like, oh, Splinter, you're so scary.
I hope that doesn't start talking, so don't leave it in any radioactive waste.
Bridget, we need to stop buying Pantene Pro V and switch to herbal essence. Part of our ninjutsu.
And he's like, and now I'll teach the baby karate. And you're like, no. What? Why?
But, oh my god, he tries to make them meditate, and instead they start dancing to the tequila song.
They literally, like, ignore the fuck out of him and do a synchronized dance, and I wrote, what the fuck is happening right now?
Okay, I did Google it. Apparently, these turtles are supposed to be around 15.
I don't believe that. But, I mean, I believe you, but...
And also, how about them skateboarding everywhere?
Dude, that was cool, too, because that looked real.
I mean, it was. I think they were, like, first skateboarding.
And again, I'm like, I can't even stand on a skateboard, and these bitches are doing it in turtle costumes, so...
Yeah. But Corey Feldman, I recognized his voice because he said to Michelangelo, hey, Mikey. And the way he said it, I was like...
Oh my god.
Goodies, 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 that's mouth. And I was like, oh my god, Corey Feldman's in this freaking movie.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, they do their dance, and then they also, Michelangelo orders a pizza, and then Splinter throws a book at him, which I was like, okay. This is a broken family.
Well, and then he stiffs the pizza guy, which, by the way, Domino's, as we already discussed, Dom.
Oh, yeah, and then he
like,
didn't tip him, and I was like, damn, what's the lesson?
Yeah, you're rude. But I do think I was really happy as they ordered the pizza, and I myself was eating pizza. I thought, wow, people should watch this movie and order a pizza.
Yeah.
And not Domino's. Order like a good pizza wherever you live.
Yeah, and then they do like some pizza jokes and no one cares.
Pizza falls on Splinter's head and he was
Yep, and in one shot, it, like, landed, like, the bottom on his head, and then it, like, cut away, and it cut back, the cheese was, like, on his head, and you're like, that's wrong. That's not pizza. Oh, no. This is where Raphael's like, screw you guys, wah, I don't want pizza or to dance to tequila. I want to walk outside. So he, like, dresses up in a pretty terrible costume.
He's not invisible. Like, everyone could see the mutant turtle, and he's just...
He didn't even wear, like, sunglasses. Like, he was like, I'm still gonna keep on my ninja scarf, which is more obvious, I think.
When I put on a trench coat, I'm never invisible, but there was like a trope that if you had a trench coat and a hat, you were invisible.
It's like really fucking weird. And even though it's nighttime, he's like walking in the middle of the street, and then for whatever reason, some kids try to steal someone's purse, he thwarts them, and then the kid's like, oh my god, crazy. And then he follows the kids like a serial killer, and then this is where we meet Casey Jones, who might also be a serial killer because he hangs out in the park at night dressed in a murder costume. Except he has a hockey stick.
I did say the third Bash brother is out in the loose.
He did kind of look like a Bash brother with his hair, I'm not gonna lie.
And like Michael, who's the one that wears the hockey mask? Is that Michael from Halloween?
Or Jason. Jason wears a hockey mask.
Okay, because it is like spooky. You're like, again, is this for kids? And also, didn't like Raphael already beat the kids up? So now you're just like gonna do the same thing.
But that's literally what Raphael said. He's like, wait, why are you like doing that? And Casey Jones is like, whoa, and you're like, what the fuck? And then it's just like a scene of those two fighting. And you're like, okay.
And he makes a joke about Jose Canseco, Kate.
I heard it.
Wow.
Also, why is Casey Jones carrying around like multiple like sports equipment? Like, did he also have a basketball or something?
I don't know, but Raphael ends up in a trash can, Kate. Not good.
Know.
He just went out for a movie to clear his head and he ends up in a trash can.
How's he gonna get out? He has a shell.
I don't know, but Splinter was like, I will light this candle in the slowest way possible and not light on fire. And we'll talk about it.
I was waiting for his finger to catch on fire because I'm like, this guy's all hair. This is not good.
Do you think one person's sole job was just to like light it and move his hand? It just kept catching on fire. And he's like, damn it, retake.
Oh, the latex, no.
But he yells about the thinking. He's like, you cannot be ninjutsu warriors without the right mindset. And Raphael's like,
There's Dancers to Kill in the background.
Wow.
Whatever speech Splinter gives isn't a great speech because immediately then he goes back out and then and there's also a fucking subplot in here which was so annoying of April O'Neil's boss has a son who's also a youth who is in the ninja gang, and then he's like the little delinquent who is like a little snitch, and like this is a subplot.
I was like, wait, was that April's son? No, it's the guy's son. Wait,
it was the guy's
son. He's her boss, but like, why is that kid always eating cereal at her place? Or is it the guy's place? I was so confused.
Why is this kid such an aggressive redhead and its dad is bald? These are the questions we have.
We don't know. We don't know this.
I don't fucking know, but he's there too. And then I guess the ninjas, like April is doing like news coverage on
the Foot Clan.
Like, why aren't more people doing coverage on the crazy ninja youth clan? We don't know.
I love that she was like, it's a group called the Foot Clan, known as the Foot. I was like, what? Like, that is like the lamest thing ever.
I would like to know the backstory on that.
You know what?
Name.
Maybe the comic books were like great at drawing, great at storytelling, not descriptions. So we're just going to call it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they're going to be the Foot Clan because we can't think of other words to describe these things.
Because they use their feet, as do 99% of Americans.
I don't know. I hate it.
Yeah, but then so this is the real horror of the movie is she goes down in a subway and she's alone alone, and I don't like it.
Not good. Not
and
good.
She turns around for 2 seconds, and when she turns back around, there's 500 ninjas.
Which we learn is, like, children.
Yeah, they're all little kids, and then she tries to fight back, but the guy, like, slaps her, too. She got literally bitch slapped in the subway. I was like, this is realistic, and I hate it.
She got bitch slapped, and he was
horrible.
like, put our name out of your mouth. I was like, whoa, that is some Real Housewives shit. Andy Bravo's in the corner, or Andy Cohen's in the corner, and he's like,
Teresa Giudice is flipping a table off on the side. Amazing.
But Raphael is like, oh, here I am again. I'm gonna carry her down to our, like, hideout.
Yeah, he does a kidnapping, which I'm like, there's a lot of crimes happening here. And then this is where she wakes up, and she appropriately freaks out. It's like, I must be dead. And I was like, yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know. How many drugs did you take? Who knows?
I do not know, but she had an amazing line, Kate, and she says, why don't I ever dream of Harrison Ford? And then I just have capital letters, Peter Pan!
Peter Pan! Woo!
Wow,
this was before Peter Pan off of this.
But she definitely was like, why is there mutant turtles? Why are they talking? Why is there a rat? Nothing's real, nothing's real. But I gotta say, Kate, once she accepted it, it was pretty quick, and then we just moved on. And I thought,
yeah, because
not my reaction.
Like, Splinter is just like, don't panic. Here's our comic book backstory. And she's like, wait, I don't care. And then he's like, anyway, and he tells the whole story. And then, oh my god, and in the flashback, the little, I'm using my hand to, little, like, rat puppet was amazing. Like, I want to buy that.
Okay. Let's talk about the darkness. So you remember how 80s kids movies, we talked about, it was really dark. So 1990, you know, they're, like, trying to get over the hump into happiness. But he's like, when I was a pet for my master, he loved this woman. And Shredder loved the woman, too. So he murdered the woman and then murdered my master.
Yeah.
And thank God that I was learning about ninjutsu throughout the time, because when he went to then attack me, I attacked his face. I was like, what? This is Kill Bill shit.
That is some street level rat fighting, I gotta say. I don't think that was in the ninja book.
Literally him in that cage being like, hiya! It was like claymation. Like, it was so funny. I was like, I want that. This is amazing.
I want a little fake ninja rat that I'll keep in a cage that, like, randomly just like,
dream.
And little kicks. Oh my god, I can't.
Dream of it.
But the little baby turtles, when they were like puppet turtles and for some reason eating sewer pizza, and he was like, their first word was pizza. And I was like, these things are a little creepy. Will they get cuter? Because
they were so
this is what
creepy.
I'm afraid of.
They were so creepy.
I don't like it. Ugh.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny. He was like, so I decided to take them under my whim. And I was like, but why?
Well, and then why the karate? We don't know. We'll never know. Do they go to school? Can they read? We don't know.
We don't know. But pizza.
They can order pizza and somehow get money, and we never know any of the answers to that, but... Yeah, so what the fuck do I have here?
The subplot is then we're talking all about the Foot Clan underground world, where the redhead shows up and he's like, down here, the outside world has abandoned you, and we are family. And by family, I mean, I'm not gonna let you guys not go to school and give you whatever you want from the stuff that you steal. If these kids were smart, Kate, they would realize they're getting nothing from these other guys, and they should just be running this organization themselves. Flip it to be entrepreneurial.
Yeah, but
what's the benefits?
Most times when you're in a cult, it's the worst.
Yeah.
I assume.
But the evil dude shows up, and then video game music really gets turned on.
The best is he's wearing like a cape thing, and you're like, okay. And then for no reason, his little henchman, like, guy moves his cape off of his shoulder. So you see the literal shoulder blades.
Wow.
Because they were swing ninja blades.
I mean, he was a shredder, Kate.
I guess, but like, what the fuck are you shredding with your shoulder? I don't know about that. That seems like a lot of work to shred something.
I don't know. He's insane. He, like, kills people.
When do you do that?
And now he's, like, taking over, like, Teenage Boys of New York City.
Teenage Boys of New York City. Getting brainwashed by the shredder.
But don't worry, because now the Foot Clan's like, we're gonna go after Raphael, because we're sick of this shit. We failed the first one, and we're gonna go figure it it out.
Well, before that, they, like, literally rob the turtle hideout, and then Splinter is, like, missing, and then the turtles are like, oh my god, Splinter's missing, and they immediately go back to April, and they're just like, Splinter's gone. Anyway, let's hang out here and order pizza. And I was like, wait.
That was weird. That was weird. If, like, the person
Fucking
that
weird.
raised you is, like, definitely kidnapped, you don't just hang out and order pizza. You, like, get after it.
Yeah.
That's
you,
what they've
like,
been training
do some
for.
shit and figure it out. And they were like, April, anyway, can we get pizza? And I'm like,
Kate, what would Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum do? All right?
Oh.
They wouldn't wait. If Grandpa's gone, they're on it.
They're fucking on. Yeah, those kids would have made, like, some traps and shit. Like, the turtles didn't know what the fuck to do because they probably can't read books because they never went to school.
They needed another path. They needed books.
They needed books.
And less
they
pizza.
Needed toothbrushes and
They had
maybe
pretty
a
white
place
teeth.
to swim. Can they even swim? We never know.
Actually, that is weird because in the sewer there's not a lot of water. Imagine if they had access to the Superman pool, from Lex Luthor.
Fucking Lex Luthor swimming next to the teenage.
Do you know how
mutant?
pissed they'd be? They'd be like, dude, there's been a pool down here the whole time.
And then he's like, what the?
All right,
Oh
back
my
on track,
God.
back on track. So they're like, we gotta get Splinter. April's our new BFF. And they somehow end up in this weird farm.
Okay, yeah, so back to what you said before, there is a point. This is where Raphael, for no reason, starts doing calisthenics on the roof in broad daylight, mind you.
Wow.
Casey Jones has, x-ray vision, and from 8 miles away in New York City, he sees him, and no telescopes involved. And then somehow that's why Casey Jones gets over there. And then Raphael gets ambushed by the Foot Clan ninjas on the roof. Meanwhile, April is like, hey guys, let me show you my thrift shop. It's very sentimental to me. It's like, basically I keep it for my dad. I lose money on it, but it's like sentimental, means a lot. And you're like, that's so sweet. And then literally 2 seconds later, all the ninjas explode through the windows
and just ruin it. Like
it's
her life's work.
destroyed. It's so horrible. And I mean, it is a good like setting for a fight because then they just kept grabbing random shit and like beating each other up with it, which was like, all right, that's fun.
But this is where you heard a lot of the hi-ya, or like,
yes,
hey man, where's Raphael been? Oh, he just likes to kind of like do his own thing, and then he like crashes through the window, and he's like, there he is. Like I was like, okay, we got some surf ninja action here.
They were like shell shocked, and I was like, wait, but why? And then it's just a turtle shell joke, and that's the joke.
The way they talked was how like dad tries to do puns at dinner, like he like doubles down, and they're like, I don't know, and they're like, try that one, and they're like,
oh my god,
like he was like California roll.
Oh, that was from Casper, by the way, which probably came out after this movie, so maybe Casper stole that. But
wow. But literally, the music was like,
yeah, it was definitely video game music.
Oh,
and then again,
God.
Casey Jones is like, I'm here too, and everybody stops fighting, which is, I don't think would happen in real life, and they're all like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Casey Jones, and you're like, wow, and then the video game music's like, new player, and then they just resume, like, beating each other up, and you're like, what's happening? Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
This leads to the building catching on fire, which again, I'm like, wow, fuck you, April, because your literal, like, memory of your father is now going up in flames. And also...
gets fired.
Yeah, not only that, but her answering machine, which I don't know how this technology worked, was also on fire, but it was working well enough for the message of her being fired for no reason to go through. And you're like, what the fuck did April do? Jesus.
Well, the guy knew that his son was involved with the gang.
Oh, he did?
So he didn't want her pursuing the story, and she did anyways. And he was like, you're fired.
Okay. Sounds like a wrongful termination to me.
But that's called retaliation. Just did a course on it.
Wow.
But at this point, then they go to the farm, right?
Now they're at a random farm, and Casey Jones is there too. Why?
Okay, Kate. The fucking Bob scene. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for the fucking Bob scene? When April decides she's Carrie Bradshaw and starts like drawing pictures of them, and she's like, Michelangelo was like, Raphael had some things to work through. I felt like she was like, Samantha always just wanted to explore her sexuality. Like, I laughed so fucking hard. I was like,
oh my God.
because I thought, All of her things are burned down. She's chilling with mutant turtles. This isn't her fight. She doesn't care about Splinter. And somehow she's dealing with some teenage turtles.
What she really should be writing about is, I am so sad and I don't know why my life is going up in flames and now I'm stranded in a
Where am I
cabin
gonna
with
live?
mutant turtles.
She has insurance claims. Like, there's lots of things that need to be done.
She does make some beautiful turtle art, though, which, again, I'm kind of like, wait, what the fuck?
Like,
Why? Okay.
I laughed so hard. And then I also was annoyed because, okay, so now they have, like, a romance. Ugh, that's so boring. And he was, like, weird. He, like, tried to massage her. She didn't want it. And then he, like, forced it. And she was like, ha, ha, ha.
And then she was like, now I'm into it. And I was like,
I hated it. I hated it.
And then one of the turtles saw and, like, gave her, like, the eyebrows. And I was like, ew, you guys are... They're how old? They're supposed to be how old? 15? Nuh-uh. These turtles... No. These turtles have not gone through puberty yet. I don't want to hear it.
But don't worry, because Raphael survives. He was just chilling in a turtle tub, and he came back to life, okay?
Which, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even realize that, like, we were worried about Raphael dying. I just assumed everyone was fine, but then in her journal entry, she was like, Raphael, we're waiting for him to wake up. And I was like, why? What? Is he sleeping?
Okay. So
I don't... NyQuil?
This is another Bob scene. She goes to, like, comfort him in the turtle tub, and she takes the smallest bit of water. Do you remember this? And she, like, flicks it on him. That is because their suits were so fucking expensive and full of all these, like, electronics that, like, that's why they, like, couldn't have water on them. So she's, like, trying to look like she's nurturing, and instead she looked like she was, like anointing them for, like, fucking Easter Mass or something.
I mean,
it was so bizarre.
For all we know, she was trying to do an exorcism, like, get devil turtle.
And then she, like, walked out. She was
turtles.
Like, I have some more writing to do.
Oh my god. Yeah, he wakes up and then we're all kind of like, anyway, cool, I guess. And then Leonardo starts having a drug trip in the woods, like in the Muppet movie, except he's by himself. And it was kind of a lot. I mean,
let me tell you, when I've meditated, a rat doesn't appear from the fire.
Thank God, because... And then he's like, Splinter! And you're like, whoa, that's a close-up.
Did you ever watch Entourage?
No.
Were you ever an Entourage fan? Damn. Okay, there's one amazing scene where one of the characters, like, gets on top of a hill and, like, screams a long name like, Johnny! I forget what it is, but if you knew it, it would come back to you. That's how I felt. He, like, was on top of a mountain, and he was like, Splinter! With like hands in the air, like fists, like pounding fists in the air. I'm like, what is happening?
Well, and they make it so dramatic where you're like, all right, now we're going to start doing stuff because we were just listening to April doing some journal entries and that's kind of boring. So is anybody going to do stuff? And then literally all he does is he goes and tells the other turtles, guys, Splinter's alive. And they're like, cool. And then, like, and then they're like, anyway,
it's like, guys, let's focus. We didn't take initiative quickly to get him, and he's literally like caged somewhere, shackled to a wall, talking to the redhead, to the point, this made me laugh so hard, the like assistant to Shredder was like, Master, why don't you like those turtles? And he's like, and you're like getting this whole long arduous backstory, and then Splinter's like, listen, redhead boy, your father does love you. I don't actually know this, but I know he loves you. That's when he gives the whole backstory of him in the cage doing the fighting.
I literally wrote a note. I was like, I think Splinter just like wants to hear himself talk at this point, because like nobody is ever asking him like, hey, tell me about your life. And he's like, let me tell you about my life. And they're like, wait, I thought you were talking about me. Oh no.
This is like
now
the guy you sit next to on the plane and you just put the headphones on, even if you have nothing to listen to. You just put them on. Okay?
If I sat next to a mutant rat on the plane, I am not flying.
I mean, COVID's been weird. I am not surprised.
No.
Okay, but don't worry, because Casey Jones is like, I'm about to figure out this shit myself. And he...
Thank God.
Disguises as one of the, like, ninja boys and goes in to figure it out.
Yeah, so they went back to New York after, like, a day, and then again, they're kind of like, let's not go get Splinter yet, let's take a nap. And you're like, what? And then Casey Jones follows the redhead kid, because the redhead kid was, like, hiding out, and instead of being mad at the redhead kid for being a snitch, they're like, alright, you're a redhead kid, cool. And then he's like, oh, God, I'm gonna go get that rat guy. And then that's where Casey Jones goes there, and then somehow the Turtles, like, I don't even know if they go to the Foot Clan place or if the ninjas go to them, but somehow we get the ninjas and the Turtles back together.
We're on a rooftop. Kate.
I don't fucking know, but all I wrote is they're getting their butts kicked, and then Casey Jones makes a weird speech about family to the delinquent teens.
Do you know what actor he was talking to? Did you catch this?
Wait, was it Sam Rockwell? Because it was?
Yes!
Oh my god! I'm not, like, right before we recorded, I finished the movie, and I kept thinking to myself, like, that was like Sam Rockwell when he was, like, really little.
Baby.
Was this his first movie role, I wonder?
It had to be. He looked so young.
Oscar
and
winner.
I was
wow,
so confused. I was like, what is happening? Like, he is like such like an A-list star in this movie. Is so trippy.
oh my god.
It'd be like if Meryl Streep just like came out as the pizza delivery person and you're like, wait, what's happening?
Have you ever thought about, like, I always think about this, and I don't think I'd ever have the balls to do it, but, like, if I ever met someone really famous, I feel like I'd want to be like, hey, I loved you from, and then say the most obscure movie they've ever been in. And this might be the one I'd say for Sam Rockwell. It's like, I loved you in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 live action. And he'd be like, what? He'd be like, I love you.
As Doom Boy, you played, like, such a believable Doom Boy. And I'd be like, what? Part of the Foot Clan? I mean, I believed you. I thought you made that movie. He'd be like, what? I would dream of you to do that, Kate.
I mean, I'll try to do it.
Well, hopefully with our podcast, we could learn about every obscure movie known to man. So,
oh my god.
There we go. But he gives a good speech. They start to basically say, like, yeah, I don't really know why we do this, but okay, like, you guys do your thing, let the rat go. And then that makes Splinter slowly climb up the building while the Turtles are trying to beat Shredder. And
so slowly.
This is like the end of the video game where you have to fight, like, the evil dude, and it's really hard, and so you gotta, like, do up all, like A, B, up, down, left, right, A, B, C, and you're trying to use all your special powers because this guy's, like, killing them.
And you can't talk at all while you watch your older brother Jimmy play the video game because he's going to yell at you because you're going to distract him and then he's not going to do as well and he's going to have to start over.
And Kate, back in the day, we used to write down, like, secret, like, codes. It'd be like plus sign, minus sign, left, right, up, down.
Tandem. Yeah. So the Turtles, basically, they get their little turtle butts kicked, and then Splinter's like, hey guys, Grandpa Rat, I'm here to save the day. You're like, what the fuck? Who thought this made sense?
Fucking God. This is like, honestly, Jim Henson, he did the best he could with the scene. Because I was like, you have a rat on the side of a building trying to do, like, karate with a human. Like, this is the best it's gonna be. This is Fozzie Bear and Kermit in the comedy club, flying on the fan, you know, just getting tossed around, and he used those nunchucks. He did them. He tried the best he could.
I love so much when Shredder is literally, like, on the edge of the building, which, like, guys, don't, like, stand on the edge of a building on the rooftop, please. Anyway, so he's, like, standing there, and then Shredder's like, it's you, the rat! And then Splinter was like, and it's you, the guy whose face I fucked up.
And then
like,
he takes off his face mask, and I'm just gonna say, those were pretty lame scars. Okay? Yeah. It was, like, really tiny scars. And
I was like, you could put some makeup on that, you look good. You don't gotta wear a mask, you're fine.
He was like, look how you ruined my life. Not that I murdered the love of my life who didn't choose me and her lover, but you scratched me a couple times.
Yeah, and here we are. So then Shredder's like, rah! And he does, like, the run towards him. And literally Splinter, I don't even think moves, like, at all. I think he moves, like, 2 inches to the left. And then Shredder's like, ah! Because now he's hanging off the roof. And then Splinter says something that I think was supposed to be a, like, hell yeah line. But, like, I didn't write it down or remember it. So it must not have been that good.
I'm trying to see if I have one.
Yeah, see, no one knows it because it was, like, lame. And then Shredder, like, falls in the trash compactor, and now it's Saw. And,
I was like, I just kept writing a lot like, Jesus, because falling in the garbage truck, you're like, silly, and then I think the cop should have showed up, and then, like, it's like, wah, 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 okay, you're arrested, sir. Dee.
Yeah.
But no, he literally, like you said, he's crushing him. He's squishing him.
There should be blood and screaming.
It was dark.
And I'm pretty sure Shredder comes back in the second one anyway, so, like, what the fuck?
I don't know, but don't worry, because then we have a really annoying shut up and kiss me line from April to Casey Jones.
And then, don't worry, guys, what we were all really concerned concerned about this entire movie was if Danny the redhead was going to connect with his father, and I guess they hug it out, and the dad has no questions about where he was the past couple days, and he's like, thank God you're here. And then,
also, he goes, I had the whole city looking for you. I go, did you? Because Casey Jones found this in 2 frickin' seconds.
yeah, Dad, and you fired April, and she's the only one doing shit around here, so fuck off. God.
Well, and then she, like, negotiates, like, an office. I was like, ugh, I hate it.
And I was like, April, get it in writing, girl. Don't, all right? Don't trust
Emotions
it.
are high now. You need to get a contract.
Yeah, I wrote all that, and then I go, does anyone remember that there were turtles in this movie? And a giant talking rat? And then you see them, like, hugging on the roof, and they're all just like, cowabunga! And you're like, wow, what
and then Splinter, like, says something, and he goes, I made a funny.
I know, why is Splinter, is he, like, senile? Like, does he need some vitamins?
Did
What's
he
happening?
hit his head? Oh my God. So I think everyone needs to remember Jim Henson saved the film with the epic suits.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell's breakout role is
Oh my God.
As one of the Foot Clan members.
I fucking love that so
And
much.
the rest of it is just one music taste away from a horror film. Yep. But boy, oh boy, did all the kids love it with that box office hit.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yeah, Bridge. So, what do you think? Would you watch or don't watch?
I think you gotta watch, and
Yeah.
I still had fun. I had
Yeah.
fun watching it. It's stupid and silly, and it's super 90s. Like the
Yeah.
hairstyles, you know, the turtle shells.
Yep, I agree. And I think there was also, you talked about, like, there were a lot of toys that came out because of the TV show and the movie. There's a show on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us. Have you ever watched that?
No, but you always talk about this.
Oh,
you
yeah.
talk about the movies that made us. So now it's the toys.
Yeah, I think the toys one might have came out first, but I'm pretty sure they did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys as one of the episodes. And it's like the whole history of the toy line, and yeah, it's very interesting because a lot of those like famous toys were either based on TV shows or they would make the toy and then make a TV show based on the toy to like sell more toys, and it was like all about like consumerism.
This reminds me of the Santa Claus starring Tim Allen, that his role, remember his role? It was like
to be a toy maker?
toys with movies and commercialism.
Yep. So Teenage Mutant Ninja. Okay, well, Bridge. I have our next movie. There are no turtles in this next one.
Or mutants?
No.
Ninjas?
No.
Teenagers?
There are teenagers.
Wow, you knew I was going to get 1 out of the 4.
But, you know, as most movies, all these teenagers are probably played by, like, 20 or 30-year-olds. Who knows? But,
I don't want to win! Reminds me of Dawson. Okay.
It's not Dawson's Creek, but it does have some drama. This is classified as a comedy drama.
Ooh.
It is from 2004. We're going to 2000s, y'all. Been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a while. Pretty sure I first saw this movie with you. I think you like this movie. I really like this movie. I think it's very clever, and I don't know, it's kind of like wholesome's the best word, but it's got a lot of famous actors in it. We did do a movie with one of these actors.
Ooh.
I'm looking to see if anyone else we did a movie with. I don't think so. So, here's the description for the movie, which you might know right away when I say it. When a girl attending a Christian high school becomes pregnant, all of her former friends turn on her, and she is ostracized and demonized. Damn, girl. This is the 2004 movie Saved! Exclamation point.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to do Juno.
No, that was like a little later in 2000s, but this was like pre-Juno.
Wow, wait, Saved has Amanda Bynes?
No, Mandy Moore.
Mandy Moore.
And Jenna Malone. Macaulay Culkin's in this. So he was the kid we did a movie on previously.
Who is it starring?
Jenna Malone.
Oh my.
And Patrick Fugit's in it. Remember him?
Oh my God, from
He's a heartthrob.
Our original Almost Famous.
Oh wait! Oh yeah! I forgot that was him!
Incendiary!
Oh my God!
Wow, Kate.
Yeah, and Mandy Moore is a villain in this, which I like kind of love so much.
I love that. Oh
I
my
know.
God, so we're gonna talk about religion and pregnancy and wow, and teens, and it's back to MTV
Hopefully
Teen Moms.
we make a lot of Sister Act references, because that gets us through. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not remembering this movie. Like,
Really?
I watched it though. I watched it, but I don't remember the details. I am excited.
Oh, I think this is a good one.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll get to watch that. Bridget gets to relive her high school days at a Catholic school.
Yep. Probably lots of trauma. I'll tell you all about it.
And the one character in the movie's Jewish, and they're like, why do you go to this school? And she's like, I don't know. And you're like, what?
A lot of the people I went to school with were Jewish.
Yeah, well, I know.
So bizarre. So
happening?
bizarre. Kate!
Bridge.
Cowabunga, dude.
Cowabunga. Well, Bridge, if you were a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and you really wanted a pizza, I would not order Domino's. I would order, like, a legit pizza place. And I would tip them because,
Thank you.
damn.
Thank you.
They're working.
And Kate,
Bridge.
I know that when we were growing up, you had, like, hamsters.
I did.
And I had turtles.
Wait, yeah, we didn't even talk about your pet turtles at all.
Well, I was thinking, like, I would go back in time and put radioactive, what is it, slime? I don't know. Waste on it. And that way we could grow up and then have them come to school with us and educate them.
Wow.
And then you would have your pet hamster mutant and I would have my pet turtle mutant. And then it would be the Teenage Mutant Hamster Turtle educated turtles. You got it?
I fucking love that. If my favorite hamster of all the hamsters was named Nathan.
Wow.
He was the cutest. And if he did karate in his cage, Bridge, I don't even know what I would have fucking done because he was so cutesy. I used to put him in the little roll-around ball, and then our dog at the time, Maggie, would like kind of hit it with her nose and he'd go flying. And I'd be like, oh no, yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. That's what we're doing.
Well, and listeners, if you also support students being educated, students and turtles and small animals that are mutated being educated, and if you like legit pizza and not Domino's, I mean, if I guess Domino's is fine, but there's definitely better pizzas. And if you think that minimum wage workers who earn tips should deserve tips, yeah, you should write us a review.
Whoa, we got there.
Figure out how that connects to this movie we just watched. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. If you scroll down on the main page, there's a form you can fill out to request a movie. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was requested by David. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. We hope you enjoyed this.
We hope you have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or a rat and they're doing karate or ninjutsu, something right now.
Oh, well.
But if you want to be like David, go on a website, fill out the form, and we will get to you. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us pizza! Woo! Okay, and it's actually technically coffee, but it doesn't matter because it's money. And if you give us money, we will tip. We will pay even if you're late. And we will get some good pizza. And so we appreciate any of that dough sent our way.
Yes. So check all that out, and we hope to hear from you. All right, listeners. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Saved! ! And the tagline is, Heaven help us. Okay. Oh, it's great.
Bye-bye.
I love it.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cowabunga.
Turtles in a half shell.
I made it funny.
I made it funny. Goodbye. I love you all.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.